Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're getting into a lot of new to me Pat McGrath, as well as a couple other new things that I want to highlight. So I recently received this today in the mail. This is the Mothership II palette. This is the Sublime palette, and I'm really excited about this. I actually wanted to get, I wanted to get number 3, but they ran out of stock on patmcgrath.com. So I got this, 25% off. She's been having her sale for a while, so I'm like, you know what? And I was looking initially, like, Sephora sale, like looking for eyeshadow palettes, and I was like, maybe I'll get a Pat McGrath one. But then I was like, if I spend enough money, like I buy one of these plus something else, I actually get more money off if I buy it from her site. So that's what I ended up doing. I really wanted Divine Rose, but they didn't have that. I wanted the Mothership 3, but they ran out of stock of that. So I ended up getting this one, which I'm really glad I did because it looks beautiful in person, and I'll show you. But then Sephora got Divine Rose in stock, so I bought that one too. So that one's coming. So more Pat McGrath videos to come. That's the point of that story. The only Mothership palette I have is 5, which is Bronze Seduction. So we'll be looking at both of those. I'll be doing some swatches. I also got a couple Pat McGrath lip products. I only have one Pat McGrath lipstick, and I have a few of her. No, that's not true. I have one full size of her lipsticks and 3 minis and 3 mini glosses. So now I have more lip stuff. So I had to get this. It's not like a normal color I'd go for, but this is Luxtrance 423 Beauty Junkie. So I got this lipstick pretty much because of the name. I had to get it. I'm like, what other product is going to be called Beauty Junkie? It is very pink, so I'll be curious to see how it actually looks on me, but I'm okay having this as like a collector's like item. I also got a lip gloss, like a full-size lip gloss, and it doesn't have a ton of shimmer in it like the other ones that I have. But I think it's a really good nude. This is Lust Lip Gloss in Faux Real. Oh, I get it now. The way it's spelled and the way you say it, it's very different, so now it's Faux Real. Haha. Anyways, we're going to try that. I'm not sure the pink will go with this, but we'll see. So that's my new Pat McGrath stuff. As of today, I'm getting more of her stuff. I think I'm getting like a lip. Besides Divine Rose, I'm getting another lip product. So yeah, I'm so excited. I also have a couple of complexion products to show you. I already have this primer on, the Tatcha. I've used this in another video, but I'm still liking it so far, and I also have a new complexion product. This is a sample though. This is the new Biologique Recherche Serum de Teint. So this is in number 1, and I put a little bit on my face, but I can't see any of it at all. So I want to apply more to see if it builds up to actually have any coverage at all. So I'm going to be trying that today for you. So as I said, I already have my skincare and I have my primer on, and I put a little bit of the Serum de Teint. So this feels like 75% skincare and 25% makeup, which I love. It feels like a serum. It doesn't feel like makeup at all. The only problem is it doesn't really offer much coverage, so I'm going to apply a little bit more, but it feels really nice. And if you haven't heard of this brand before, they have a lot of products. They have a lot of, it's all skincare. They have hair care and body care. And now this is kind of their first like makeup product. But this serum it's like their finishing serums, which is intended to like seal everything in after all your other steps. But this one is essentially that, but it has coverage supposedly to it. So it feels really nice. So I'm just gonna put some on my palette. And see where this takes me. I'm just gonna use my fingers because I don't want my sponge to absorb a lot of it, because yeah, it just feels like straight up liquid, but there's just not a lot you can see. Like, I have redness, I have blemishes that I'd like to cover up when I put on makeup, even if it's a CC cream. That this is just not doing it. It feels amazing. It feels wonderful. So if you really don't have anything to cover up, but you want to get the illusion that maybe you're doing something, okay, I'll buy it. But this is a really expensive product for minimal to no coverage, really. Like, I think I'm gonna have to use a lot of this product. What's really great about it though is it doesn't stay tacky. Like, it dries down like pretty fast. I see I am getting some coverage because I'm noticing my nose is like holding on to it. I just want to do a little bit more. I've seen people use this and I'm wondering how much they're actually using, because I've heard, you know, positive things. I'm going to use like pretty much all this sample in one day, which to me says, well, I would run through that product 1 ounce pretty quickly for, I don't know, almost $200, $150 to $200. It's insane. Like, I get it, Tom Ford, La Mer, they're all really expensive that I've never used. To me though, like, because I have to put on so much, like, is this too much skincare? Like, would I have a problem if I applied too much? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So I'm gonna stop there because I think I might be getting some pilling. And I just don't want to apply all of this right now. I mean, I got a little bit of coverage now that I put on like 3 layers. I don't know. Just from this, I'm not gonna buy it. But I like the way it feels. I just wish it gave me more. And I don't know, maybe it's the sample because I can't shake it. Maybe that's a problem. I don't know if you guys ever experienced it. Maybe the real thing's actually better. Let me know. Alright, so I'm gonna skip through the rest of my face and I'll come back when we get to contour and blush, and then we'll get into the eye look. Okay, so I applied a couple things off camera just because I'm running out of daylight. I put on the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer in 3.75. I put on the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in Fair, just right here, and then I put on the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, and then I threw on some brows with the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel in Taupe, and then I put on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pencil underneath the brow. And now here we are. So I'm going to apply some contour, and I'm going to use my contour palette from Scott Barnes. This is the Sculpting palette. And I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to apply with a smaller brush and then blend out. This is the Sonyaji Inoshige Pro. And I'm gonna go in with Sliced and Diced and see how that works. So when I was like, oh, that's orange. I'm gonna go more diced. So when I was blending in my concealer with a sponge, I started to get some pilling, and I think if you use too much of that BR serum, I think it starts to pill. Now it could be it just doesn't agree with the skincare I applied underneath and the Tatcha primer, because it is like a skincare serum. Maybe just too much at once, not enough time in between. Like I could have like put on a layer, let it dry, put on. I didn't do that. So that could be it, but I'm just curious if anyone else has tried that, the BR tint. If you got pilling, if you try to build up coverage. Because I certainly did when I started to kind of try to blend things out with my concealer. So this Sliced and Diced, I definitely got more golden, and this looks more like a bronzer than a contour. I'm going to use shade underneath my chin. And I'm going to go back in a little bit with Carve for my contour. Yeah, I think that's better. And then that's it for the contour. I'm going to blend out with my Face Sculpt 1 brush from Sonyaji. It's like a large, stiff fan brush. And this blends out contour really well, especially if you have, whenever I apply contour, it just really wants to stick in the patchy way to my face, like in all the holes, all the pores. But this really kind of blends it out really well, and I think it's because it's stiff. So that's nice. I like this brush so far, just for this purpose. You could certainly bring down the warmth all the way down your neck. I don't usually do that, but you could. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of bronzer. And I'm gonna use the same brush I applied the contour with, and I'm using the Tom Ford Soleil Glow Bronzer in Terra. And you could totally stop with contour, especially if you use like a warm contour like I did. But I just want a little more warmth. Just because it's, when I'm going into like dramatic colors on my eyes, I kind of want a balance. And I'm very pale. Once you get past the redness and cancel everything out, I can be pretty pale. I like this brush. It's really good. Really good. Okay. Now we have blush and highlight, and then we're going to move on to the eyes. For blush, where's my Designer Pro? So Designer Pro, this is a new one for me. It's like a small one. I don't know that you necessarily are supposed to use it for cheeks, but I'm trying it. And I'm using Hourglass Mood Exposure Blush. That brings a pretty flush. And then for highlight, I'm going to use a peachy tone, pinky peachy. And this is the Diorskin Nude Luminizer in 02. I'm going to use this for highlight, and I'm going to use my Refer fan brush in 20. This isn't as blinding, but it's surprising how much you get. Like, you get quite a bit of highlight with this, even though when you swatch it, it's unimpressive. But when you put it on with a brush, it's there. Like, it is there. And I just like, I like a pink highlighter. I like a peachy. I think it's different. Some people hate pink, but I don't mind it. I actually have, I just remembered, a Pat Mcgrath highlighter that I use that's pink. Let me grab that for you, and I will top it off my highlight. Alright, so this is the Pat Mcgrath highlighter. She only has one highlighter, and this is like the trio, which I absolutely love. I never use this color though. Just, I don't know. I could use it as a bronzer. I've never really tried it, or an eyeshadow. It's just very, very gold. I think I could use it as an eyeshadow. But this beautiful pink iridescent one is like one of my favorite highlighters. And I like to mix these two, so I'm going to go ahead and top off the Dior one with this one. Yeah, see that pink absolutely come to life? Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so good. If you don't have this, get it. Alright, so now we have our complexion done. We're gonna move on to our very exciting eyeshadow palette. Mothership II Sublime. She came out with 3 sets at first, 1, 2, and 3. So this is kind of the OG eyeshadow palettes. 4 was is limited editions. You can't buy it anymore. And then they came up with 5, and I bought that one because I felt like it had the most wearable shades. But then looking back, I'm like, I could wear any of these, but I picked this one, and I could have definitely picked number 3. And I'm really excited for Divine Rose. So I'm gonna have 3 Pat Mcgrath palettes. Crazy. Alright, so this packaging is amazing, right? Just got like the bee in the back. This reminds me of like Silence of the Lambs. And then it's got this like window that you open up. I of course already peeked into it, and so I have my handprints on it. But it comes with an insert with the names, which I never bring out, so I never know the names of colors, but I can tell you today. Oh, this is such a pretty palette. Like, I'm glad I bought it. I mean, now that I see this in person, it's actually, besides like maybe the green is a little scary, but I love it. This is more wearable than the 5, the Bronze Seduction. So the 2 is super wearable. Like, I'm surprised, like, why didn't I want this? Because, I mean, to be honest, I like 5 and I use it, but it has a lot of shades that are like party shades and a lot of dark shades, and so does this one. Like, these shades are darker for me, but the rest work. Yeah. It doesn't have like a whole lot of mattes. Like, this isn't matte, it's somewhat satin. This one right here, this is Rose Dusk, and I believe this is in Divine Rose. But these 2 are matte. So I'll just go through the names. This is Extreme Black. I believe this is on all the 1 through 3 palettes. This is Dark, Rose Dusk, Blitz Emerald, Astral Ghost Orchid, VR Nectar, Bronze 005, Iconic, Copper Toned, Skin Show Glow. I mean, super wearable. Like, I don't know, I guess I was scared to buy a $125 palette. Now, I don't know. I mean, 25% off, that's pretty good. I don't know that she's had this sale before besides maybe Black Friday. But, you know, Black Friday, there's a lot going on, so I'm like, oh, do I really need a Pat McGrath sale, you know, product? I don't know. Anyway, just to compare the two palettes that I have, I mean, 5 is certainly wearable, but there's like the top 4 crazy shades. I mean, I wear the red one the most out of those top 4 shades, and I wear the browns in this one and the light color, but I don't use the other glittery shades, and I don't really use the purple because it doesn't work out well for me, the purple. But like, I wear these colors and I don't wear these because they're a little bit gritty and they're too glittery for me. But like, these glitters are special. Like, I'll use these as toppers once in a while, but this is like too chunky glittery for me. This is the best shade in the palette. This is like a metallic. It's not glittery, it's not chunky, it's super smooth. I wish all the shades were like this. Pat. So, like, while this is wearable, these are my top contenders, and even though these are neutral, I don't wear them. So we'll see how this goes. I think this looks more wearable. It doesn't look like it has the chunky glitter except for these two. And this looks like a metallic. Although I've seen it look kind of sheer, not super like thickly pigmented as the red one goes. So we shall see. Alright, I have to figure out what I want to do. I want to do everything. I think I'm going to do 2 eye looks just to get the most out of trying this for the first time. But first I'm going to apply an eye primer because I think I never do it. I'm using a Etude House. This is the only one I have. Proof 10 eye primer. I have another one coming. A different one. We'll see how this goes. Guys, I'm so excited to try out this palette. Like, I bought the 5 a couple years ago, so it's been a while since I've had a new Pat palette for sure. So I'm gonna do the top row first, starting with Skin Show Glow. Well, you can't see that. It's just a really light shade that's like shimmery, kind of has a shift to it. And it's kind of peachy. It's really smooth though. So that's a nice, light, pretty shade. Kind of rosy, kind of peachy, kind of pinky. Hope you can see that. And then Copper Toned is the next one. There you go. You can see that one. That's like a warm tan copper. Very pretty, very smooth. And this is Iconic. This is like a bronze. Kind of a mid-tone brown bronze. So those 2 shades go well together. Actually, all 3. There's a look right there. And then we have Bronze 005. Ooh, this is the chunky glitter shade. You can't tell when it's in the pan flat, but this is the chunky glitter. I just think Pat just does these chunky glitters. I mean, it's definitely like eye-catching. I don't like the fallout, but look how pretty those are. I mean, that is like a nice golden look right there in that top row, and then the last top row one is VR Nectar. Ooh, I like this one. This is like a glitter topper. It's definitely smoother than this chunky glitter one. That is my shade. I was calling my name. These two together, yes. That is so pretty. It doesn't have any color behind it. It is a topper, but even so, you can build that up. I mean, that is just ridiculously pretty. Okay. Now we have the bottom row, and we have the bottom row has Extreme Black first, which is just looks like a matte black. Looks a little bit patchy, but it builds up. I'd have to play with that. I don't use black shadow that often anyway, but next matte shade is called Dark. Ooh, that is like a true matte brown. And it's a bit cool toned, I'd say, not warm toned. Which is interesting. You think they do a warmer tone with these colors. So the Mothership V has a warm tone brown, darker brown in there. Next one is Rose Dusk, and this looks like a semi-satin shade. It's pretty smooth. Ooh, that is interesting color for me. That is definitely pretty. I don't know what to call that, like a pinky brown. I'm excited to get Divine Rose, because I think that is in there. But it's like a, I don't know what to call this, like a reddish brown, pinkish. It's definitely interesting shade for me. And then we're gonna get into Blitz Emerald. Ooh, this feels so smooth. It's not quite as smooth as the red metallic in number 5, but it's pretty smooth. Oh, that is so pretty. That is such a good shade. Look at that. Holy shit. Love that. Love it. And then last but not least, Astral Gold Orchid. Ooh, yeah. This reminds me of the highlighter that I just put on, the pink one. Very, very pretty. Again, another kind of topper shade, but very pink, iridescent. Definitely up my alley. Look at those shades. Look how pretty. I love it. I love it. So just first impressions, pretty dang good. This is a good palette. My favorite shades, just based on the swatches and not on my eyes yet, or I'll say interesting. This I like it, but I wish it was more pigmented, more impactful, but it's pretty. These are interesting colors together. I think it'd be pretty together, but not particularly exciting, or not something I couldn't get somewhere else. This is really pretty. I like this one. These two are whatever, they're matte shades. This is a really interesting color. It's very different. This is the standout shade to me, and so is this. So these are my top 2, top 3, top 4. The rest are just okay. So yes, yes. I wish this was brighter. But yeah, I mean, you're getting the whole experience with this palette. If none of these shades appeal to you, I wouldn't get it. But I mean, you're also getting really good eyeshadows. Even if you don't care about these colors, are probably going to be pretty good. And these colors, even though you could get them somewhere else, I'm sure they're going to be blending out pretty nicely. So, cannot complain. Very, very pretty. As far as an eye look for today, do a golden bronzy look first. And I'm going to apply Skin Show Glow, which is that light, barely there shade, on my lid. Just see how this looks. I think the light shade in Mothership 5 is better. Getting a little bit of sun left, thank God, but it is definitely flickering, so sorry. Copper toned on the lid. This is just a really easy shade. Anybody can wear. I think I'm gonna do Rose Dusk in the crease. Kind of that red tone shade, pink tone shade. Pretty, definitely wearable color. I don't know that I have a shade in this color, or anything really even close to it. Just gonna blend this out a little bit with my Sonia G Blender Pro. Sorry, I've been using the Worker Pro and the Crease Pro. I can't recommend Sonia G rough or wing gloss brushes enough. They're all really good. They're all natural hair. I think Wayne Goss has some synthetic too, but I have the natural hair brushes. So that's pretty, not like particularly exciting yet. I'm kind of looking at this brown. That's not. I think I'm gonna go in with, let's see, I could do the gold. So the gold is really exciting, but I think the VR Nectar is more interesting. I could do both. I'm just gonna do VR Nectar with my fingers. Because I think well, I'm getting fallout, but I think a brush would be worse. know that it's everywhere. But you see how that just kicked up the look a notch. I'm digging it, I'm digging it. Go in with rougher number 1, and I'm gonna go into Iconic, and it's more of just like kind of a regular shimmery brown. Yeah, it's a little more cool, or neutral, I would say. That is like super pretty. It's like a pretty boring shade. You know what I mean? Like it's nice. It's not completely matte and it's not super shimmery. So it just gives you the right amount of glow. I like that. Glad that I used it because it's gonna be a staple. I can already tell, it's super pretty. So that's kind of the frame I want to do for that one. I don't want to repeat anything, so I might have to though. So I'm going to go in with that really light Skin Show Glow shade, just because I want something in the corner that's lighter. I think I would pull from another palette, but I'm just sticking to this one. So as I make these comments, like, you may think some of them are negative, but I just want you to get a real sense of like, this is what I would do normally, but I'm sticking to the palette. Like normally I would probably reach for other shades to really set this green look how I would want to. And to me, there's not enough variety of cool tones that I want to use to make two completely different eye looks using completely different shades, if that makes sense. But I know you're supposed to like get creative and like offset like a warm tone with the green, and that would look pretty, but not what I want to do, you know? I like to be boring and keep within the same families. So I'm lightened up. Now I'm gonna do a little outer corner work. And I'm gonna use the rougher 12. And I'm gonna go into the dark brown matte shade. It's called Dark. This is building up really nicely. So again, it's a boring shade, right? Brown. But I think they're pretty good eyeshadows to work with, personally. I know people complain about, you know, blending is difficult. I haven't really experienced that, but I use good brushes. I mean, my eye has a primer on it. I don't know. I don't always use a primer though, and it still works fine. I don't know, there's just a lot of factors and differences in how people apply makeup and you know, different batches of makeup are bad, you know? So it's hard to say if it's really the eyeshadow, is it the person? And I don't want to like blame anybody, but you don't have to love her stuff. So I really like both of these looks so far. Now what do I want to do? I don't want to use black. I think I'm ready for the green. Maybe I'll put some gold in there too. We shall see. So I want to apply the green with a brush. I'm going to use the Sonia G Worker Builder Pro and start applying it with a brush and see how that goes. Oh boy. The glittery one. I think I'm gonna have some fallout, so I'm gonna do this. Yeah, see, this is what I saw. When this is applied on your eye, it's much less vibrant, especially with a brush, and that's kind of what I noticed. When other people applied it, it's not as green as you think, and it's actually darker than I think it is. Really pretty though, still, even though it's not as vibrant with a brush. Of course, I'm going to go back in with my finger, but I mean, like from far away, you're not going to notice, oh, you have green eyeshadow on. Like, it's just a pretty smoky color. But now we're going to apply it with the finger, and I'm going to put my shield back on. So this is one that probably could have had a little bit more, I don't know, thickness to it so that it would really pack on better. And look how it swatches. Oh, this is, I mean, I'm still loving it. This is right up my alley. I love the green. Oh, she has a green like topper shade in 5. That would look really good on top of this. So good. So good. I don't know if you guys get excited about colors like I do, but when a color is like that, like a bit different and a bit rich and like sexy, like, oh my god. Like, this is like a smoky cocktail dress, drink in your hand, or not, just in your living room like me. That is really pretty. I think I need to do the under eyes. I haven't used Astral Gold Orchid. I think I'm gonna do inner corner. Oh, actually, this would go pretty over here. Maybe I'll just do both. It looks pretty against the green. I think it's pretty over here too, but just there's just not as much contrast between the other glitter. So I'm gonna do the under eye, and I'm gonna go in Rose Dusk with my rougher number 3. Gonna blend this out. This is Pencil Pro Sonia G. And then for the other eye, I'm gonna use the green and get a ton of fallout. But I just didn't want to use brown, you know? You know? Got very different looks from this palette, but very impactful. Okay. I mean, I'm done. Trying to think, do I want to use an eyeliner? So I used every shade in this look except for black and the gold. I could have definitely put gold with this green, but I didn't want to. But that's pretty much the final eye look. I'm going to apply some mascara and lashes. We'll see. but I'll be back as quickly as I can. My lashes are a bit much. I think they're too long personally, and they just cover up the eyeshadow. I'm also not great at applying lashes, so they're not aligned properly and they're not connected at the ends and corners. But I try my best. So I'm going to use the highlighter, the pink highlighter shade on my brow bone. Just because I want a little something extra up there now that part of my eye is covered up. Lashes. So that's it for the eyes. Yeah, I think I could have done without the lashes, but I already committed. I think they're just overwhelming, and I had to apply liner to cover up the unevenness that they were glued on. So I do want to show you the lip products I got a little more closely. So the lipstick is Beauty Junkie. Oh, this is like pink, which I'm not sure exactly goes with this look, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I have like a pinkish, that's a little more reddish though, lip liner that I got. Or I could do a nude. I kind of want to do this, like for reals. But I also want to do the pink. We're going to go for it. We're going to do the pink, and we're going to do this crazy lip liner. Here goes nothing. My eyes do not like these lashes at all, or the glue. Something is bothering them. This lip liner is from Thrive Causemetics, and the name is Valisia. Weird name. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. This, of course, is the Luxtrance. This is the Luxtrance formula, which I've never used before. And this is Beauty Junkie. Wish me luck. Oh boy, so these are very different colors. I'm just going to do some blending. Well, I'm just going to try to fill it in. Formula is interesting. It's not, it feels similar to the Matte-Trance, but I suppose it's slightly creamier. I think I've owned a less flattering pink shade. I don't know if this is unflattering. It's definitely a loud one. But when I want to go bold, I don't mind the color. I wish I would have picked a different lip liner though, for sure. I'm just going to get a tissue and blot, and I'll be right back. So this is a look. This is a lot of a look. Too much of a look. But I just really wanted to try everything, and I know I look a bit clownish, but whatever. I don't mind it. Like, if you don't look at this, it's not a bad color. I don't know that it's my favorite color, unfortunately, even though I love the name. It's very Barbie. So I do want to pair a gloss with it. I don't want to use the one I just got because it's just a nude. I think this is the wrong color. I think this might work. It's a little warm, but just a little topper. Oh yeah. I mean, if we're gonna go over the top, let's go over the top, right? I think that really completes the look. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm in my bathroom. So this look is a lot. It's a bit much. Yeah, I like both eye looks. I like the green one more just because it's so different. If my lashes were applied better and I had the right set on, I think this would all look a little bit better. But yeah, I think the lips are a little bit much. I think I would wear this color more than like a red, to be honest. Like, I like the pink. I like how bold it is. Obviously, you don't have to do the lip gloss. I think the gloss just takes it over the edge. But it is punchy. It is pretty. It's definitely like that hot Barbie pink, which I can appreciate. I just really want to stare at my green eye. That's all. Just want to stare at my green eye. This is such a, like, this is like your not your everyday, but very pretty glam, and this is like, oh yeah, I'm going somewhere special. So I like it a lot. Just to kind of give you my final thoughts, and this is really first impressions. I'm not done playing with this palette, but I mean, these shades are just gorgeous. A lot of really workable shades all on this top row. Really, I mean, they're really safe, except for like this. These two are pretty darn glittery, but you could get away with this for every day. Even this bottom row, like this 6-pack right here, these are just very wearable. These are 2 mattes. This is a satin. These are shimmers, light shimmer. I mean, just really wearable. And these are your special shades over here. And I really like the green. I've yet to play with the gold. I think the pinkish kind of copper shade is really pretty. It did get all over my face. And then this pink kind of special shade is really nice too, and I love a pink iridescent shade. But overall, really nice. I don't know that, I don't know. I mean, I like Bronze Seduction. So I like Bronze Seduction. I think they both have really good hits in here and a couple, you know, okays. I'll just, you know, the red in here and the special green shade I could definitely pair with the emerald one for like a Christmassy look. And I mean, these both work together like really well, even though this is 3 and this is 5. It'd be hard to choose. I think they both have their unique qualities. I would recommend both. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the red in here is the standout shade, the green topper in here. I think the light shimmer one is better than the one in here. And I think like the fact that I don't know. I might like more shades in here than this one. Isn't that crazy? And I never would have thought to buy this one. So that's what I mean. I think you're gonna pick and choose your favorites out of all the palettes. No palette's gonna be 100% you love, but that's okay. I mean, no palette is on earth is like that. They're expensive palettes for sure. You have to understand this is a luxury brand. But there's a lot of great, you know, indie brands out there that have a lot of amazing, really special shades too that blend really well. that are just as good quality as what Pat has. But you know, indie brands are sometimes cheap, and sometimes they aren't. Like sometimes you are spending a lot of money for a single eyeshadow, where a palette like this makes more sense. You know, those multi-chrome shades, some of those are really expensive, and that's why like Pat's like quad of special shades was a lot of money, because individually buying those at like 20 bucks, yeah, that's a $60 palette. And when you go to indie brands that have special similar shades, that's how much it is. So I mean, you don't have to go Pat for like super amazing, different, luxurious shades. You can go with other brands too. So if you're anti-Pat, that's totally fine. If you're all for her, welcome to the club. I mean, this lipstick though, I don't know. Alright guys, thanks so much for hanging in there through the whole video. If you have any questions, comments, please make the comment below and click subscribe and the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.